and more particularly coaches on the boundary line. Dockers turn it back. Bowden's got it. 70 metres out from goal. Richardson will be his target. Richardson standing in the square. He wants it long and high. Bowden waits. A lead offered by Platt. Now Richardson dummies one. It's a game of cat and mouse. Who's going to crack first? Bowden gives in. He's going to kick long. Doesn't get onto it well. It spins. Richardson's behind. Pushes the pack. In front at the back. Sampson turns around. Has a good look. This is an excellent kick. Hollands has got it. Ben Hollands has plucked it from over the top. Sampson knew what was going on. Has a good look. Over the top of Harrison and Bond.
Good mark in the end. Bond working hard to try and get back. It's a good option by Sampson just to get the ball back in front of goal. Clive Waterhouse been treated for cramp. He's up and going now, but I'd like to see him back down forward because he has been dangerous.
So Hollands, who spent time on the Sydney list in '96, then back to North Albury. The boy from the bush is happy. He's got it. All square, 120 apiece.
Well, a sensational game of footy, as it has been all day. Both sides really gone hard at it, running hard. They'll start to tie now, but this is where they've got to dig deep.
The centre square vital now. Scores are level. 4.5 minutes to go. It's bouncing around in there. Campbell put down. Knights, who's been terrific. So too Fletcher. Kicks it towards half forward and Black. Hit his head. Hit it back to Norrish. Norrish kicks it long. Bandy has run off the centre square. Missed the mark. Dropped his head. Bandy goes after it. Spills wide. Chance for Gale. In the grass. Gets it to Wills. Wills can go over the top to Ship. Ship turns around to be sure and slams it through. Dockers back in front.
Good hard running by the Fremantle players. They pushed hard from that centre bounce. Bandy running down, dropped an easy mark, but he had teammates who had run with him all the way, and they just had numbers around the ball. When they eventually got possession, just had created the loose man. First it went to Wills. I'm sure he'd been in that situation. He didn't thought about going back having his kick, and Andrew Ship got free in the goal square and made no mistake at all.
Norwich long towards the boundary line. Gale on the top again towards Fletcher to Parker. Cool in a crisis, the Dockers defence. Exchange of handball. Eventually ends up with Greg Harding. Runs through the wing. His kick doesn't get there to Waterhouse. Turned back by Bowden. Dropped in short. Campbell turns again towards centre half forward. Richardson's in front. He should mark it. Interfered from behind. Not given. Here's the opportunity. Tivendale concedes ground back to Sampson. Again looking to set something up. Nothing to give. Now does to the far side and found them. Matthew Rogers.
Gee, Harding's kick on the outer side, it just needed more, didn't it? Waterhouse was away and inspired. He was inspiring himself running down towards the pocket.
It makes a huge difference again, just a matter of inches in these games. Certainly some of these Richmond players have been kicking under pressure, and no more so than this one.
Matthew Rogers to square the game once again. Has missed. The mighty roar goes around Subiaco Stadium.
Well, that can be a very costly miss, or it may be a crucial miss for Richmond. Just now 5 points of difference, and the Dockers have got to try and clear it out of the area. I'd love to get it straight down the other end.
Oh, Parker kicks it in directly, and the mark has been taken by Hollands. Well, inexplicable. So Hollands in the pocket with a chance to give the Tigers the lead. Now, if you've tuned in wanting the news on the East Coast, it's coming up immediately after the football. We've got 1:40 remaining to be played. What an important kick for the young man here. It's close. I tell you what, that's a great effort under pressure. What a wonderful kick. Ben Hollands.
Well, that's a 7-point play, Dennis, that we saw Fremantle have the opportunity earlier in the game, and that's an unbelievable turnover from the kick in. with not long left on the clock. You just would have loved to have seen Shane Parker just kick it to the best percentage option. Outside 50, make it, at least if there's a turnover, as hard as possible for Richmond to score, but gave it up.
Jeff Geeshan working the phones. 42 seconds to go. Michael to Prescott, can't get away. McKee tied him up. Daffy dives on top of it. That's holding the ball surely.
It is, yes.
32 seconds to go. The Dockers, they've got to move it, and they've got to move it quickly. Fletcher has been terrific. 1913 and 1912, the spiral. It needs a mark. Modra launches himself, trying to juggle it out of there is Bowden. Slapping it goalward was Waterhouse. Modra can't emerge from the pack. Down goes McKee, thumps it wide. Chance for the Dockers, taken by Ship. Hand passes back towards the middle. Kicker tried to knock it, in comes Hollands. Hand passes for the line. It's out of bounds, and the clock is stopped on 3 seconds. There's nothing they can do. There's nothing they can do now. Those expressions tell it all. It's in the hands of the players. One final roll of the dice. The Dockers need to grab it and kick a score. Michael goes up. It's in the air. Wait for the siren. Tigers win. Tigers win. What a great victory. What a great victory. Fantastic performance by the Tigers. They've gone goal for goal in this final period. Jeff Geeshan believed it. He'd be delighted with this performance. Richmond win by a point at Subiaco.